Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Coming to you live from Australia, I'm David Starlyte, and this is my weekly show for psychic readings, energy hits, intuitive connection, spiritual growth, self-mastery, and a little bit in between, a little bit beyond, a little bit of a bridge between worlds. I was asking ChatGPT what my mission in the world was, and I can't quite remember it, but there was a lot about being a bridge between worlds. So there you go, Gateway. Call me David Gateway. During this broadcast. Let me start again. During this broadcast, you can support my page by sending stars, a digital gift that helps me earn money. And if you look at the bar below, there is an instruction. Please like the video and thumbs up. That really helps the algorithms and really lets people know I'm online. So that's always appreciated. Thank you for sharing your beingness right here. One-on-one session bookings, there is a link below. You can also go to my website, which is davidstarlyte.com. And there's also a PayPal donation link, which is in that blue bar. So Marianne, good morning. How are you? How's the weather? How is it going? How's the week been? How is everything? So really good to be here, everyone. I'm a little bit sleepy in the morning sometimes. I was actually up early and then I went back to sleep, which isn't always a good idea. I guess everyone's a little bit different. I recorded a new video on YouTube, and so I'm going to put that live soon. Marianne says, Marianne, where is it? It's very slow today. Sorry, Marianne. There we go. Soon to be very wet. So do you have a lot of clouds up above and pending lots of rain? So that's going to clean the energy, clear the energy. So we're talking a little bit about love today. What is love? What is romantic love? How does it appear in your life? How do you manifest it? How do you push it away? Is it a good idea? Is it a bad idea? What is spiritual growth? Can it align and co-occur? Can it occur at the same time? Can these manifest together? We're going to talk a little bit about people pleasing. Do you fall into this trap of people pleasing? It's a pattern, and often it comes from ancestral trauma and the lack of safety. So it comes from a lack of safety. So when you feel safe, there's no need to pretend, no need to fawn after other people or always kind of worry about other people. There's no need for that. So being safe is just, well, I can be myself. The world is safe. I can say what I feel. I can say what's on my mind. I can say what's in my heart. That is really what safety is. And obviously there are boundaries and appropriate measures or appropriate communication depending on the context. So if you are busy with working, there's certain protocols, certain patterns of behavior, sequences that we do apply. So you're not necessarily going to, now I'm going to speak my truth sort of in the middle of a job interview, for instance. So context is really important. But the general theme is if you're really safe, then you don't need to try to get approval, get love, get resources, get help from other people. You can navigate the world with your own boundaries intact and with a real sense of self-respect being communicated to the world. Marianne says rain equals pain, and it's happening. Pick a joint, hip, back, hip, knee. Rain equals pain. So is it the rain or is it the temperature, Marianne? It sounds maybe more like it's a temperature, not the actual water, because you can really feel great in a warm bath. So have a warm bath and love the water. Sing in the rain, Marianne. We're going to sing in the rain. I hope you feel better. So what does that mean to you? Does it mean anything? Does it resonate? Do you fall into the trap of people pleasing yourself? And do you see the core pattern? Do you see the origin, the source of that? Not the temperature, the humidity. Oh, interesting, Marianne. So the rain brings change in the humidity, and it creates physical pain. So we are going to send you love, Marianne, sending you lots of love, and supplying you with healing energy. So that is going to help you feel, it's going to make you feel better. So there's always a little bit of hierarchy in the world. So I think that's often where the fawning, the people pleasing, the fear comes in. You know, if someone is a billionaire, everyone's sort of on tenterhooks, walking on eggshells, because it's like, oh, I have to please this person. I don't want to upset them. So it's so common in behavior. You if you're not conscious of it, just look around you. Maybe if you go to a restaurant and how the staff are treated, or how they behave around clients, guests, there's often trepidation, fear. So if we really feel completely safe, even in a work environment, then we don't need that kind of behavior. So a lot of people may be dependent on their job to help their families, and so they are dependent on clients or customers to basically not complain. They're dependent on people pleasing their customers. So these kind of patterns have many sources, and often people are not in the more position of power, the more your position is of power, the more powerful your position, the more you kind of can be yourself, do yourself, to say whatever you like. And the less power you have, the less people tend to do that. So it's not just about safety, it's also about power. But I would say the two are interlinked. Power and safety, they're both connected or interconnected. Marianne says, my sister's very people-pleasing. It's not helping them get that apartment. Sorry to hear, Marianne. People-pleasing often doesn't serve people. It doesn't serve their highest interest, but sometimes it does. Marianne says, already applied Vicster, take the edge off. I don't know what Vicster is, Marianne. I think you mean Vix, V-I-X. V-I-X. All right. So Carla says, hi. Welcome to the show, Carla. It's great to see you. I'm doing well. We are talking a little bit about the dynamics of people-pleasing, the origin of people-pleasing, why we do it, what it's about, and if it's a healthy thing to do. Ultimately, boundaries are really important. And this is part of the safety that we manifest in the world. The sense of boundary is how we co-create our reality. So boundaries are really essential for creating this, for our needs to be met. So there's another point here. Why do we have this pen, and how do we change it? And is it easy for you to say no? So often there are issues here with people. They cannot say no. They'll just say yes to everything. Jump in the lake. Okay. There's no question. So it's being overly accommodating, positioning yourself essentially, or positioning your own needs as very weak and unimportant. You're positioning yourself on a very low point. And often people pleasing, also people are seeking validation, seeking reassurance, seeking external validation. There's also in people pleasing a sense of conflict avoidance, and that's very, very common amongst people, is going to great lengths to avoid disagreement and holding back your true perspective, your true opinion, and your true opinion. So it's really important to develop boundaries, create a sense of safety around you, realize that you are worthy, develop your own self-respect, self-worth. So you don't need others' connection and approval at all times. You don't need that, because you know your own worth. So there's really, knowing your own worth is really important, like the source of your behavior in the world. Now, so often there's a trauma, there's an emotional dependency, there's codependency, there's a survival mechanism that's built into this behavior, into this people pleasing, this sense of one's emotional and psychological needs not being met if we don't toe the party line, if we don't people please. So this survival mechanism often comes from a type of trauma, often in childhood. So we didn't feel safe in childhood. That's the key component here. So really important to grow our self-respect, grow our boundaries, learn to say no. Just practice saying no, setting boundaries. Practice self-awareness so you know what's yours, you know what your needs are. Very important that you develop a sense of what are my needs, what do I want, what do I need. Set these clear boundaries. These are my boundaries. Sometimes they may be hard boundaries, sometimes soft boundaries, but know that you need to assert them. They need to be asserted. They need to be present. They're not just going to build themselves. You have to build them. You have to set them out. You have to assert them. You have to create them. If you feel any guilt or shame, then really recognize that. Attend to it. Know that you don't have to apologize for being. You don't have to apologize for being human. You don't have to always be in this weak state of apology. So build your strength, build your internal power. Know that you can get help from other people in terms of guidance from, often people, the primary reason they go to a psychologist is because of this reason, the lack of boundaries, the lack of self-awareness, not being able to say no. That's often the number one thing that psychology assists people with. So Carla says, yes, I walk away from people who overstep my boundaries. So that's brilliant, Carlos. To respect one's own boundaries and know oneself. Ultimately, that's what it comes down to. Know oneself, not the self who's pandering to everyone else, but your authentic self, and know your authentic needs. So I'm going to pick a card from the Starseed Oracle. Let's have a look at the Starseed Oracle. And we are going to ask for some clarity, some support about this issue of boundaries, this issue of people pleasing. Okay. And I drew up the card. Let me just pick it up. So the cards, sometimes they have a life of their own. They throw themselves around. They fly all over. All right. Let's have a look. All right. Getting a sense for this reading. So the cards are reminding us with this issue of boundaries, when we have issues of people pleasing, what is the origin? What is the source? How can we navigate this? So this card, the wording here says, I remember. I remember. What does that mean? So remember your internal architecture, your soul importance, why you put on the earth, your fate versus your destiny. What are you here for? So that's really important in navigating this issue. Acknowledge that there are these extremes in life. So there are this almost looks like a cave and a waterfall, and it's quite dynamic. So know that life is kind of cathartic. It's messy. It's got a intense energies. Know that there's, bring your full embodiment into your life, and that takes courage. It takes a certain surrender, but this is very much about a type of catharsis to go into. I would call it internal transformation in order to shift the external world. So internal transformation is required. There's also a double mission. So we have a double mission, a lot of us as starseeds. So we had to build this new earth. We had to evolve the planet. We had to raise the energy, serve the world by being our authentic selves. So there's a service element maybe innately in us that has to be tempered by self-awareness, self-knowledge, and knowing what this earth is, knowing the polarity. So dance with the polarity of this planet, of this earth, dance with the polarity. Then there's another card here indicating that we are part of the creation of a new earth. We are part of this new earth alignment, so bringing in the new earth. So part of that is developing self-love, developing boundaries, developing self-awareness, and knowing what's ours, knowing what's other people. Part of that is happening right now, and that's fermenting the new earth, developing the new earth, bringing the new earth here. If sometimes something needs to crumble in your life, let it go and reset. Bring in the new seeds, plant the new seeds, water them, and keep the faith. So planting new seeds and bringing about a shift for the ages is a huge task for us. So it requires trust and a radical vision. Marianne says, I'm usually the one who notices what shouldn't be and points it out. Blame it on my ADHD, it says me. So awareness, and that's wonderful, Marianne, to have that awareness. And often people who are, have a little bit different, they are able to see things that other people don't see, or they're able to acknowledge things that other people pretend aren't there. Or they fly like notice me. They fly like notice me. They fly like notice me. Fly like, I'm not sure what that means, Marianne. All right, so Carla says, I walk away from people who overstep my boundaries. And anyone has any perspectives they would like to share today in the comment section, please do like and share the show, which helps our algorithms. Now, a recent study came out. There's been a lot of information about this with people like Gabor Maté, for instance, who talks about adults' issues. He saw them in his medical practice as a doctor. The source is often childhood, and so there's a pattern in how things develop. And the study showed that traumatic stress in children increases the likelihood of hospitalization with an autoimmune disease in adulthood. So we kind of knew this, I guess, from our own experience, but it's actually now been published, so it's now in the medical literature. We know that the outcomes for adults are affected by their childhood experience. Please do like and share the show. Thank you so much. Thank you. So what are your perspectives on that study? Do you have any perspectives on childhood trauma, patterns that you see perhaps in your adult life, things that have affected you? And what do you think of the connection with the immune system and our energetic architecture, energetic resources? How does your immune system function? Is it affected by childhood trauma? So call it stress, because it doesn't have to necessarily be a trauma. It can just be very stressful, and ultimately that stress creates ADHD. So ADHD is created from stress. So when your parents are stressed, you're stressed, and that is what is the source of ADHD. So Marianne, and so many of us, our parents were stressed. The relationships were stressed, economically stressed. socially stressed, so many issues going on in the world. So that is the source of ADHD. So a lot of things, there's an origin, there's a pattern, they don't come out of nowhere. And childhood trauma, it creates autoimmune disease. That's the consequence. So trauma is a risk factor for autoimmune diseases. And it affects the immune system function. So it's very important that if you did have issues with immunity, that you're aware of the origin and work on it. Sometimes it just takes a lifeline of developing your immune system. So for me, I'm often stimulating my thymus by doing that. It's a thymus stimulating action. And that's very much about the NK cells, the natural killer cells that work for your immune system. So there's an energetic layer here that's really essential. Marianne says it takes time to quantify the symptoms and conditions. David was born with it, and also near genius IQ. Boys, most girls worse. Boys, most girls worst. David was born with it, but also near genius IQ. So yeah, everything causes and conditions. It doesn't generally come out of nowhere. There's a context for everything. All right, so we will do a little bit of meditation as the comments are pretty quiet. Kim says hi, and hi Kim, welcome to the show. What's on your mind? What's in your heart? How are you today? We're talking a little bit about different topics, people pleasing. We started with people pleasing, and now we've moved on to really the origin of health and in adulthood. So I was just looking at a study about traumatic stress in childhood, which increased the likelihood of autoimmune disease in adulthood. So it's and then we're talking about ADHD having a source in stress. So parents being stressed, and that affects the ADHD. And Marianne says it takes time to quantify the symptoms and conditions. Marianne says the stats don't lie, and different symptoms in the girls. All right, so does that mean something to you? Does that resonate? There's always epigenetics involved. So epigenetic codification, epigenetic, essentially it's your environment. So how your genes express themselves is based on the environment. So it's always going to contribute to how you function, how a baby's developing, any dysfunction present. The environment they're in is really essential, and there's health consequences to be stressed, to be in a traumatic environment, to lack support, to be neglected. I'm interested as well in the topic of childhood neglect, because the modern world often is a world in which kids don't get a lot of parental guidance. So this is a topic that I'm passionate about. A lot of single parent families, but also families where both parents are working all the time. So the kids are not getting enough attention. So there's often something that's, I would say, co-occurring or intersecting childhood trauma, immunity, and even psychosis. So these are huge areas in the literature that's being studied. So Marianne, where's that? Marianne means it's found on the X chromosomes, SRX linked. That's also true in autism. At the intersect of childhood trauma, immunity, and psychosis. So these are the biological expressions, the pathways of childhood create, they set call it an architecture. They set out an architecture. They set out patterns. And this happens really early. So the risk factors is really important. The first 24, 25 years, they say the brain is developing. So it's not childhood, I think, is almost people think of it as a kid, but it's the first 25 years the brain is still developing. So I also find that interesting how we tended to think someone was 18 and they're an adult, but 18-year-olds, they're still kids in many ways in terms of emotional development. And I feel like, personally, certain decisions should not be made by younger people. So things like politics, I would say, should rather be something when people are fully developed, older, more mature. And I would also say things involving crime. So when someone is a criminal, it's often linked to childhood trauma. It's linked to not having parenting. Single parent families also predict criminality. So you need to be a little bit sensitive of people's backgrounds. Not that there shouldn't be consequences, but I would say we need to rehabilitate people and less about judgment, more about rehabilitation and giving, supporting them in their growth. So I'm not saying, to do away with the criminal justice system, but to evolve it into something a bit more progressive. I thought green spaces also contributed to psychotic conditions. You mean the lack of green spaces? Yeah, green spaces are really important and part of our healthy functioning, our moods, how we are feeling. And stress is so present especially when you don't have these green spaces. So the green spaces really help with stress reduction, with how we manage stress, how we deal with the stress of the world. So forest bathing is really amazing and effective. Really helps the immune system, helps reduces blood pressure, improves mood. All these factors linked to green spaces, linked to forest bathing, linked to being out in nature. All right, so please do like and share the show. That's really appreciated. Without calls for readings, without questions, what I usually do is have a little bit of a meditation moment. So we'll have a little bit of a meditation moment. And then if you are present and you do want to contribute to the show, if you would like a reading, just comment in the comment section and I will respond soon. So we'll do a short meditation. Okay, beautiful. So the body position is our starting point, how we are situated physically, and aligning oneself with one's back straight is a good way to meditate. Some people meditate on their back. You can even meditate standing up. There isn't a right or a wrong in mindfulness. Mindfulness is really the key, just being present. And it's doesn't have to have any complicated theories involved. So we start just with being aware of our own physical body. Sometimes you may feel something you can adjust. So take a moment to adjust yourself so your back is straight, you're supported, you're comfortable, feet connected to the ground. I always have a connection like that with my hands. I'm just checking butterfly. Butterfly, great to see you. Thank you so much. I was looking for you in the comments section. We're just having a little meditation and then I'll be right back with you. So feel free to write anything in the comments section and I will attend to it when I'm back. So this is a little how I position my hands. There's many mudras, many hand positions available. So you can explore that, see what works for you. And we're going to do just a brief meditation today. First, if you're ready, closing your eyes and releasing any stress from your face, from your jaw, from your head, your neck, around your eyes, around your mouth, and anywhere else. Consciously rooting yourself into the ground, into the earth, perhaps tuning into your feet. And with your intention, creating a line, creating an energy that roots you into the earth. You can imagine almost a string that is pulling you into earth, into Mother Earth. And as you do so, consciously ground your whole body, setting an intention with this grounding practice that we are completely safe on planet Earth, that this is our planet Earth is here to support us. We are children of Mother Earth. We are her children, and we are here to live our lives, to play, to dance, to live our lives with freedom, to be a whole and authentic person, to express ourselves in the world as our authentic selves. And as we connect through our feet to Mother Earth, sending a prayer to her, may she be safe, may she be protected, may she be healthy. She is so vast that sometimes we forget that she can hear our prayers. She can feel us. And the more we feel her, the more that connection grows. The more she can feel us, the more we can feel her, the more we can feel her, the more she can feel us. And when we connect to her, we tap into her as a resource, as a co-creator. We tap into this divine feminine or goddess energy that she has, which is about creation. We also allow her to bring us the energies of abundance, the energies of safety, the energies of manifesting, of tapping into this divine energy that she has, the energy of love and friendship, the energy of co-creating that which is good for us and good for the planet, good for ourselves and good for the earth. Consciously sending love through your feet, through your intention into Mother Earth. Feeling her heartbeat. With your intention, feeling your own heartbeat. And as we tune into our own heartbeats, starting to connect the vibration of our heartbeats with the vibration of the heartbeat of Mother Earth. And as we breathe into our bodies, feel Mother Earth breathing into us. It's almost like when she breathes out, we breathe in. And when we breathe out, she breathes in. Symbiosis in synchronicity, tuning into her with our presence and our love, with our intention of the highest vibration for both human beings and the earth, Mother Gaia. If you feel called to hum with Mother Earth, then do so now. Feeling her rhythm, breathing in her breath. Shawata Iwaska. Ayawaka Sayanaka. Shana Mana. Creators, manifestors, we are with your abundance. We are with you, Mother Earth, and you are with us, co-creating in synchrony. We dance with you, together in oneness and wholeness. Filling you with our self-expression, with our creativity, with our magical creations, we co-create with you. Prayer, reverence, unity. We are with you, you are with us. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. In gratitude now, bringing yourself back into this physical realm, into your physical body, bringing the connection you've fostered back into your body. Perhaps you may stretch out your body as you bring yourself back, massaging your face, your head, your neck. Coming fully back, embodied with Mother Earth, together as one. So welcome back, everyone, and welcome, Butterfly. Hello, hello. Hope you're well and enjoying the day so far. It's a very tranquil, pretty day, a little bit of gentle wind. And how are you, Butterfly? May your voice be a poem. If you have any time, please, may I have a reading? Thank you so much. What topic, Butterfly? What an amazing meditation. Thank you. I love it. Yes, it is all about rhythms and unconditional love. Unconditional love, which is really what Mother Earth has for us, this unconditional love. And there's almost there's an open space, call it a blank canvas, and we have this blank canvas, and she provides the sunshine, the nourishment, the water, the earth, and it's up to us to use these gifts, these gifts to co-create unconditional love, symbols of unconditional love. What beautiful moments of grounding. How soon before my sisters moved to a new apartment. It was a beautiful meditation. Thank you so much, Kim. So we're just going to go through your reading requests, I think. Butterfly, let's have a look if there is a topic you would like, and I'll use the Starseed Oracle. The Starseed Oracle looks like that. So I'm using that Starseed Oracle for you, butterfly. And these cards are throwing themselves around. Sorry, butterfly. All right, so it feels like there's a shift. There's a call here for a shift, whether it's conscious or unconscious. There's a shift happening, and sometimes there's a sudden change, and it's not necessarily that you feel that's what I wanted. It's just there's almost like, all right, time to shift things, butterfly. So it can be a little bit, call it confronting, at least short term, like, wow, all right, my life has to shift. So there's a calling here to shift things, and the ultimate goal here is to awaken your voice, to your sharing with your world, to almost call it your song, your frequency. The whales that are the orcas, whales, dolphins are singing, sharing their voice. So this card reminds you of yourself being like that. It requires you to step out of your comfort zone and start singing, start sharing your voice, start sharing it with the world. So it does require sometimes a little bit of a growth spurt here, a little bit of a growth spurt, shifting you into the next frequency, into the next level. So I feel like harmonics would really help you connect to the magnetic field of the earth. The oceans, being around water really helps. Being attuned to nature is part of your soul path. So, in one way, you don't have to be or do anything. It is about surrender, but it's technically one. Sharing is, you can sing, but you're surrendering to the goddess within you, that creative spirit within you. So it's not purely passive. There's an active component. Dancing with the earth, we're moving with its vibration, with its energy, with its song. There's a in tune with it. So it is a surrender. It's a surrender to the goddess within you. So there's a vulnerability in that. There's a nakedness in that. Embrace those energies and allow the cosmic web to weave itself through you, butterflies. So, all right. So the other card is from the other deck, which is a beautiful card. So that's you, butterfly. And she's very much an angel of love. So that's your mission on the planet. Angel of love. So beautiful, beautiful card. She's both powerful and goddess-like, feminine, powerful, but loving, devoted, tender. So there's a tenderness. There's a great tenderness, which is smiling upon you. Butterfly says we choose our own colors for the canvas. I do that quite a lot with my writings. Yes, I also connect with the whales and dolphins. Yes, I love dancing, movement, and singing. Amazing, amazing Butterfly. Thank you. Marianne would like to know, I keep getting delays with this, and yeah, you were saying that almost like they are part of this delay. They have a certain ideas in their mind with certain, I would say, resistance that is creating resistance creates resistance. Resistance creates a little bit slow. So resistance is slowing this down. So let's have a look if we can gain. Let's gain. So we've got to shift them out of resistance. And I think I got the same thing before, Marianne. So I don't know if you can see that clearly. I'll try to move it a bit closer. I don't know if you can see that card. It's like take the horse by the reins. It's about movement. It's those horses are moving. So we've got to up the speed. We've got to get things. We've got to up the action. So they need to take real action, not just little baby steps. And they've got to just surrender the resistance. Sometimes you just have to, jump in, all systems firing. So this is what I get. It really needs action, not thinking, not little steps, not baby steps. This is like jump all in kind of energy. That's what I'm getting for you. This is a man that's got some kind of value that he can actually, he's a bit of a power broker. So this guy, he's a bit of a decision maker, but things need action. He rewards action. So it all comes back to action, Marianne. Would not be surprised. They're hard-headed, so have to with that. Yeah, there's a resistance that they have, and that's creating resistance. As I said, it's you got to sort of you can't sort of, sometimes if you're crossing a street, you can't sort of, I don't know, take one step back, one step forward, one step forward, one step back, one step sideways. The most direct way you can cross a street is a straight line, and the quicker you move, the quicker you cross the street. So there is this energy with them, and that's creating slowness, delays, blockage. It's almost like really that resistance comes from they don't really want to move. So really that's the source of it. They don't really want to move. All right, Marianne, thank you so much. Any more comments? Thank you, everyone, for being here. And remember that sessions are available. I still have the website, so you can always use, I'm going to type it here. You can always connect with me on social media. The YouTube channel is also the same. I think this is how you write it. And everyone being here, much appreciated. Thank you for being here today. It's been wonderful having everyone sharing. Kim says, I would love a card. Butterfly says, behind every challenge and trauma lies so much growth and expansion. That's a beautiful parting message. Kim, I'll just do a quick card for you before we go. So those are some of the session link, the YouTube channel, some of the social media under the same name, my name, Kim. Let's have a look from the Starseed Oracle. Behind every challenge and trauma lies so much growth and expansion. So beautiful message coming from butterfly. So there's leverage, we need resistance in order to grow. So when a plane takes off, it needs resistance. So you always think of that plane, it needs that resistance from the air under the wings. It needs a resistance in order to take off. So it's a great analogy. Taking off, the flight taking off, the plane taking off. All right, so let's have a look, Kim. The energy here. Oh, I've never seen this card before, Kim. It's very interesting. I would say this is a very insightful card for you, Kim. Lifting the veil. You are lifting the veil. All right, so that's what it looks like. You see that card, lifting the veil? Beautiful card. I'll send you a picture of this, actually. It's really pretty. So lifting the veil, what does this mean? It means that you are questioning everything, and almost like spring cleaning, going, all right, I don't need that anymore. Just let's cleanse that, purify that. Realizing that nothing is as it seems. You live in this illusory matrix. The energy of illusion is all around you, and it's time to let go of a lot of stuff, purify things. This time, the time we live in is so much untruth, mistruth, questionable, so many questionable things. And this card's reminding you to remember the ancient truths, remember the ancient wisdom, remember the purity of God, the purity of the mystic, which cuts through all this nonsense. So coming back into really harmony with the earth, like the meditation, tune out of society, tune out of all the technology, all the things that human beings have been developing, and see the bigger picture, tune into what's vibrationally matching with you. And this is a very pure card. It's saying that we got to serve the natural order, serve the planet. We've got to remember Mother Earth. We've got to lift the veil between the seen and unseen worlds. So this is shining a light on that which is in the dark, which can be quite draining for you, Kim. It's to shine a light on things that are not aligned, that are not authentic, that are not helping the survival of nature, not helping the well-being of Mother Earth and its children. So this is calling you to stand up and protect those who don't have a voice, to look deeper, to question everything that previous generations took for granted or didn't question. So there's a lot of recognition of your spiritual role on the earth, to bring the world back into harmony with the planet and to what is really important. So on a personal level, also not tolerating things that are not aligned with your highest self, and coming aligned with that which is supportive of planet Earth. So really trusting yourself is the ultimate message here. Trusting yourself. And I'm seeing a wonderful energy. It's almost like a natural abundance, connection with nature. This is a beautiful symbol for you, Kim. It's saying things are moving in a beautiful direction, creating abundance. So that is beautiful, creating this beautiful Mother Earth abundance. And where was that? I think, thank you, Kim. Thank you, Butterfly. Keep the trust, hope, and faith and flow with life. Thank you, Butterfly. Thank you, Kim. And Butterfly says, please appreciate Tara, Marta, love, care, and respect her. So beautiful messages from Butterfly and Kim. And I hope this serves your own frequency and serves a collective energy. So be the light, flow with the light, be light, and I'll see you on the other side. See you next time. See you next week. I'm David Starlyte. Thank you for liking and sharing the show, and I'll see you all next week. Have a beautiful week, everyone. See you all later. Many blessings all the way from Australia and from Stu. Lots of love to Stu in Florida. Thank you, Stu. See you next week, everyone.